in the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. They ask you about the bounties. Say, the bounties are for Allah and the Messenger. So be mindful of Allah, and settle your differences, and obey Allah and His Messenger, if you are believers. The believers are those whose hearts tremble when Allah is mentioned, and when His revelations are recited to them, they strengthen them in faith, and upon their Lord they rely. Those who perform the prayer, and from our provisions to them, they spend. These are the true believers. They have high standing with their Lord, and forgiveness, and a generous provision. Even as your Lord brought you out of your home with the truth, some believers were reluctant, arguing with you about the truth after it was made clear, as if they were being driven to death as they looked on. Allah has promised you one of the two groups, that it would be yours, but you wanted the unarmed group to be yours. Allah intends to prove the truth with His words, and to uproot the disbelievers. In order to confirm the truth and nullify falsehood, even though the guilty dislike it. When you appealed to your Lord for help, He answered you, I am reinforcing you with 1,000 angels in succession. Allah only made it a message of hope, and to set your hearts at rest. Victory comes only from Allah. Allah is mighty and wise. He made drowsiness overcome you, as a security from Him. And He sent down upon you water from the sky, to cleanse you with it, and to rid you of Satan's pollution, and to fortify your hearts, and to strengthen your foothold. Your Lord inspired the angels, I am with you, so support those who believe. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve. So strike above the necks, and strike off every fingertip of theirs. That is because they oppose Allah and His Messenger. Whoever opposes Allah and His Messenger, Allah is severe in retribution. Here it is, so taste it. For the disbelievers there is the suffering of the fire. O you who believe! When you meet those who disbelieve on the march, never turn your backs on them. Anyone who turns his back on them on that day, except while maneuvering for battle, or to join another group, has incurred wrath from Allah, and his abode is hell. What a miserable destination! It was not you who killed them, but it was Allah who killed them. And it was not you who launched when you launched, but it was Allah who launched. That He may bestow upon the believers an excellent reward. Allah is hearing and knowing. Such is the case. Allah will undermine the strategy of the disbelievers. If you desire a verdict, the verdict has come to you. And if you desist, it would be best for you. And if you return, we will return, and your troops, however numerous, will not benefit you. Allah is with the believers. O you who believe! Obey Allah and His Messenger, and do not turn away from Him when you hear. And be not like those who say, we hear, when they do not hear. The worst of animals to Allah are the deaf and dumb, those who do not reason. Had Allah recognized any good in them, He would have made them hear, and had He made them hear, they would have turned away defiantly. O you who believe! Respond to Allah and to the Messenger when He calls you to what will revive you. And know that Allah stands between a man and his heart, and that to Him you will be gathered. And beware of discord which does not afflict the wrongdoers among you exclusively, and know that Allah is severe in retribution. And remember when you were few, oppressed in the land, fearing that people may capture you, but He sheltered you, and supported you with His victory, and provided you with good things, so that you may be thankful. O you who believe! Do not betray Allah and the Messenger, nor betray your trusts, while you know. And know that your possessions and your children are a test, and that Allah possesses an immense reward. O you who believe! If you remain conscious of Allah, He will give you a criterion, and will remit from you your sins, and will forgive you. Allah is possessor of infinite grace. When the disbelievers plotted against you, to imprison you, or kill you, or expel you, they planned, and Allah planned, but Allah is the best of planners. And when our revelations are recited to them, they say, we have heard. Had we wanted, we could have said the like of this, these are nothing but myths of the ancients. And they said, our God, if this is the truth from you, then rain down on us stones from the sky, or visit us with a painful affliction. But Allah would not punish them while you are amongst them. And Allah would not punish them as long as they seek forgiveness. Yet why should Allah not punish them, when they are turning others away from the sacred mosque, although they are not its custodians? Its rightful custodians are the pious, but most of them do not know. Their prayer at the house was nothing but whistling and clapping, so taste the punishment for your blasphemy. Those who disbelieve spend their wealth to repel from Allah's path. They will spend it, then it will become a source of sorrow for them, and then they will be defeated. Those who disbelieve will be herded into hell. That Allah may distinguish the bad from the good, and heap the bad on top of one another, and pile them together, and throw them in hell. These are the losers. Say to those who disbelieve, if they desist, their past will be forgiven. But if they persist, the practice of the ancients has passed away. Fight them until there is no more persecution, and religion becomes exclusively for Allah. But if they desist, Allah is seeing of what they do. And if they turn away, know that Allah is your protector. The best protector, and the best supporter. And know that whatever spoils you gain, to Allah belongs its fifth, and to the messenger, and the relatives, and the orphans, and the poor, and to the wayfarer, provided you believe in Allah and in what we revealed to our servant on the day of distinction, the day when the two armies met. Allah is capable of everything. Recall when you were on the nearer bank, and they were on the further bank, and the caravan was below you. Had you planned for this meeting, you would have disagreed on the timing, but Allah was to carry out a predetermined matter, so that those who perish would perish by clear evidence, and those who survive would survive by clear evidence. Allah is hearing and knowing. Allah made them appear in your dream as few. Had He made them appear as many, you would have lost heart, and disputed in the matter. But Allah saved the situation. He knows what the hearts contain. When you met, He made them appear as few in your eyes, and made you appear fewer in their eyes, so that Allah may conclude a predetermined matter. To Allah all matters revert. O you who believe! When you meet a force, stand firm, and remember Allah much, so that you may prevail. And obey Allah and His Messenger, and do not dispute, lest you falter and lose your courage. And be steadfast. Allah is with the steadfast. And do not be like those who left their homes boastfully, showing off before the people, and barring others from the path of Allah. Allah comprehends what they do. Satan made their deeds appear good to them, and said, you cannot be defeated by any people today, and I am at your side. But when the two armies came in sight of one another, he turned on his heels, and said, I am innocent of you, I see what you do not see, I fear Allah, Allah is severe in punishment. The hypocrites and those in whose hearts is sickness said, their religion has deluded these people. But whoever puts his trust in Allah, Allah is mighty and wise. If only you could see, as the angels take away those who disbelieve, striking their faces and their backs, taste the agony of the burning. That is because of what your hands have committed, and because Allah is not unjust to the servants. Like the behavior of the people of Pharaoh, and those before them. They rejected the signs of Allah, so Allah seized them for their sins. Allah is powerful, severe in punishment. That is because Allah would never change a blessing He has bestowed on a people unless they change what is within themselves, and because Allah is hearing and knowing. Such was the case with the people of Pharaoh, and those before them. They denied the signs of their Lord, so we annihilated them for their wrongs, and we drowned the people of Pharaoh, they were all evildoers. The worst of creatures in Allah's view are those who disbelieve. They have no faith. Those of them with whom you made a treaty, but they violate their agreement every time. They are not righteous. If you confront them in battle, make of them a fearsome example for those who follow them, that they may take heed. If you fear treachery on the part of a people, break off with them in a like manner. Allah does not like the treacherous. Let not the disbelievers assume that they are ahead. They will not escape. And prepare against them all the power you can muster, and all the cavalry you can mobilize, to terrify thereby Allah's enemies and your enemies, and others besides them whom you do not know, but Allah knows them. Whatever you spend in Allah's way will be repaid to you in full, and you will not be wronged. But if they incline towards peace, then incline towards it, and put your trust in Allah. He is the hearer, the knower. If they intend to deceive you, Allah is sufficient for you. It is He who supported you with His aid, and with the believers. And He united their hearts. Had you spent everything on earth, you would not have united their hearts, but Allah united them together. He is mighty and wise. O Prophet! Count on Allah, and on the believers who have followed you. O Prophet! Rouse the believers to battle. If there are 20 steadfast among you, they will defeat 200, and if there are 100 of you, they will defeat 1,000 of those who disbelieve, because they are a people who do not understand. Allah has now lightened your burden, knowing that there is weakness in you. If there are 100 steadfast among you, they will defeat 200, and if there are 1,000 of you, they will defeat 2,000 by Allah's leave. Allah is with the steadfast. It is not for a prophet to take prisoners before he has subdued the land. You desire the materials of this world, but Allah desires the hereafter. Allah is strong and wise. Were it not for a predetermined decree from Allah, an awful punishment would have afflicted you for what you have taken. So consume what you have gained, legitimate and wholesome, and remain conscious of Allah. Allah is forgiving and merciful. O Prophet! Say to those you hold prisoners, if Allah finds any good in your hearts, He will give you better than what was taken from you, and He will forgive you. Allah is forgiving and merciful. But if they intend to betray you, they have already betrayed Allah, and He has overpowered them. Allah is knowing and wise. Those who believed, and emigrated, and struggled in Allah's cause with their possessions and their persons, and those who provided shelter and support, these are allies of one another. As for those who believed, but did not emigrate, you owe them no protection, until they have emigrated. But if they ask you for help in religion, you must come to their aid, except against a people with whom you have a treaty. Allah is seeing of what you do. As for those who disbelieve, they are allies of one another. Unless you do this, there will be turmoil in the land, and much corruption. Those who believed, and emigrated, and struggled for Allah's cause, and those who gave shelter and support, these are the true believers. They will have forgiveness, and a bountiful provision. As for those who believed afterwards, and emigrated and struggled with you, these belong with you. But family members are nearer to one another in the book.